We are back. It's been a month since the first video of this series. A lot of work has been put in since. Let me walk you through my last month and show you the progress.
Oh my gosh, just work on that.
In my first video, I laid out 3 things that I would do in order to get headed in the right direction towards beating Trey. The first was finding a coach, so I found a saw. The second was conditioning as much as I can. And the third was just simply playing more tennis. After a month of that, the result of our first match, I lost 8-4. But I do think we saw improvement and are headed in the right direction. This month, I plan to follow that same formula. However, I foresee there being a couple more obstacles this time around. Obstacle number 1. These guys are in town. And unfortunately, their lack of knowledge and understanding of the game weighs down my ability to get any better for an entire 2 days. This is how Beckett taught me to hit a volley.
Put the racket like this, grab it, and you're just gonna... Let's go.
I practiced like that for a week straight until I looked on YouTube and realized that's not how you do it. Jokes aside, it was a legendary weekend. Beckett and Simon are the GOATs. We played an insane amount of tennis. It was helpful for me to build my confidence, and they gave me tips, but best of all, it was a blast getting to show them around the city of Austin. Now, obstacle number 2 is that we do it all again next week. Tomorrow, me and Trey leave for LA to do another court tour, but before that, I gotta get a quick lesson in.
You create an edge off of your return or serve?
I mean, not return with right now with his serve. I think I'm at a disadvantage there. Strong serve, I got poor return because I don't really know how to yet.
Well, he definitely still has, he has an advantage on that first serve. The second serve is...
Stop giving away the game plan. Trey can see this. Get back to the lesson.
Here's what I want to see today. So everyone says a thing like hit through. You say hit through what? Here's an easy way to kind of visualize it, all right? This is our ball and it's hovering yay high. I want to set up such where as I hit, right, I've twisted, I've pushed through. After I hit the ball, step past where the contact was. That's hitting through.
Okay.
Are you ready for points?
Yeah.
I gotta get to 5, you gotta get to 2. Up, 1. I can't be giving you things for free, right? No! Dang it! Between games, between sets, whatever, there has to be this moment where you say to yourself, all right, what happened? What did I do well? What did I do bad? But it has to be in that order. It can't be, what did I do bad first? Everyone does that.
Now, those of you that watch my matches on the second channel, you know that I struggle mentally as a beginner mid-match. And so those are some important things for me to focus on there. Now, a quick turnaround to head to LA in the morning to play a bunch more tennis. LA tennis did not disappoint. We visited 10 courts in 72 hours, played a ton of tennis, met some awesome people, visited really some of the coolest tennis courts we had ever seen. These trips can honestly be insane. It's travel for an hour, get out, play some tennis, get in the car, sleep there for a second, travel again, get out, play some tennis. It's never ending, and while that is super fun, the negative to it is that at this point I was playing so much tennis that everything I was learning over the past month and a half, it felt like it was starting to deteriorate. So by the end of the trip, I felt like I needed to get home ASAP. and get back in the lab.
Okay, so listen to this. You know, you've heard me talk about wanting to straighten out your arm, right?
Yeah.
If I wanted to take you to the gun show, right?
Yeah.
What muscle am I using?
Bicep.
100%. So the opposite movement, right, has to use the opposite muscle.
Tricep.
I want you to flex your tricep.
Okay.
Okay? By flexing your tricep, you're forcing yourself to straighten out your arm, and this will allow you
okay. I like
to
that feel.
easily dip your racket under this very clear, symmetrical line.
Okay.
All right? Nice. Good. So if that's what we do on our forehand, then the left tricep flexes on the backhand.
Let's stop ramping up the pressure out here. Struggling a little bit.
Go for it. So what happened there? You were charging at the ball, but your steps were like a little unrefined. They were too big. And so your arm was straight, but then by the time you took your last step, you could no longer keep your arm straight, and so you had to.
That happens to me all the time.
So I have to make space, right? How am I gonna make space? Typically I wanna have more opportunities for my forehand, so I'm gonna slide away from here, or I'll do an inside out version of this. But with a ball that's that far away, I can technically already stretch my arm out fully, but I still won't get there. So I have space from the ball, and I have to keep space, right? So here, I have to keep the space to allow myself to stay straight, right? So I'm either making space or keeping space, right? That's the way I kind of like think about all these shots. Oh. Did you pop?
No!
Let's go.
Dude, I knew they needed to be. Now, keep in mind that throughout all of this, I am trying to get in as much conditioning as possible. But the piece of the puzzle that we are missing is Trey's side of the journey. What's his day-to-day look like to try to stop me from being able to catch him one day? Let's take a look.
So there's a lot of noise coming from Kyle's camp, and I think it's finally time for me to get the chance to respond. I just can't sit back here and let Kyle catch up to my 2 years of progress in a few short months. Honestly, I'm proud of him though. He's doing all the right things and getting better. But what have I been doing? My friend Peter just moved back into town, who's also extremely serious about getting better at tennis, and we have hit the ground running. We have been playing a ton of tennis, and here are a couple things that I'm working on. First off is placing the serves. Y'all saw my match versus Winston. I can hit some hard serves, but I need to work on finding those corners more. So I've been working on both the wide serve and the tee serves on both sides. Also, trying to mix up speeds more often to keep the returner guessing. Other thing I'm working on big time is backhand. Peter's a left-handed player, so his forehand straight to my backhand, so he attacks my backhand a lot, and it has helped immensely. In the 1 month that he's been here, I've felt like my backhand has gotten so much better, probably more than any other month span of me playing tennis, which I'm super excited about. We also do a lot of drilling where I'm working on volleys, approach shots. Those unfortunately have not come as far, but we're working on it. Things in general are getting busy, but me and Kyle are still trying to get out there and just work on some hand feeding as well to smoothen out our strokes. It is a busy time in my life with all the editing, a normal job, getting married next year, but only beating Kyle 8-4 last month has reinvigorated my spirit to get better.
So one thing that I've, with playing too much tennis, is I started doing what I think felt like I was trying to like flip last second, like
Yeah.
causing it either to go long or I would just hit it straight
Yeah,
down.
yeah. So that's what I would call rolling over the ball, and it happens to actually, like a lot of players who I think they're clever, right? They're clever. They think to themselves, look, I want to get the ball to spin, and the way that I'll control it is by spinning it down like this. And so they're really leaving this like small window that's somewhere between here and here that it'll actually be a proper kind of spin shot. You have to be able to trust that keeping your racket face down, or as I say, like thumb down, and finishing high will force the ball to spin down the road. You have to kind of like trust that this is enough spin. All right, you wanna do a fun warm up?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, put your racket down.
Racket down.
Yeah. All right, 4-1.
You guys let me know if you've ever seen this warm up before. It was a blast. Something that helps you get your footwork going, get your body into it, makes you use your hips, and also just a strategy game as well in terms of where to put the ball. But now that I'm warmed up and ready to go, we've got to fix this issue with my forehand that causes me to really lack consistency. Golly, man. See, there it is.
So that ball's going a little long, but I would say you're not rolling over it,
You
right?
don't think so?
Think about it like this. Here, make your palm spin that ball. Your hand, as you were coming, came under it and over it like this because you wanted to spin it as much as you could, right? Now the palm is your strings.
Once I kept that in mind, I definitely saw a little bit of improvement for the rest of the lesson. And me and Asaf even got to play our first real points against each other. See what that looks like. Pretty much the 1 point that I was able to win. Obviously, things transfer best when I'm able to take what I've learned in a lesson and then go play for a couple days straight. And so that was the goal in between my next 2 lessons, was to just play as much as possible, night, day, in the middle of the workday, during lunch, whatever I could do to get out on the court, even if it was just for 30 minutes. So here we are, a little bit less than 2 months in. Me and Asaf took some time to reflect. I want to hear what you think about just my current development. You know, we're like 8 lessons in now. This is our 8th.
This is 8. Wow.
Just the growth.
It's gone by fast. Here's what I love about watching people grow is that it depends, you know, obviously it's good to have good people around you, but a lot of it is in here.
Absolutely.
There's no substitute for having a big desire to succeed. There's nobody who succeeds at anything who's like, oh, well, maybe I'll try and maybe I'll get there, maybe. No, it's like you have to have that thing inside you that says, I'm a winner, I'm gonna go get it, I'm gonna succeed.
Right.
And so I think you have that. And you're willing to make mistakes. Learning, a lot of times I find you have people who are just, they're so afraid of the momentary failure that they'll never change anything.
Right.
It happens.
Right.
Yeah, and you don't have that.
2 months into our journey, that was great to hear, but we got to keep working. There's more work to be done, and we got to fix this lousy forehand.
So today is all about getting maximum revolutions on the ball.
In efforts to hopefully build more consistency, me and Asaf continue to work on the feeling of having the palm of my hand spin the ball, and then transferring that feeling to the string bed. At the end of the day, my poor consistency is largely due to a lack of trust in my stroke, and that's why understanding what it's supposed to feel like is huge for me as I try to develop repetition. Things started to look a little bit better, and then me and Asaf got into some toss work, and this is where I really felt like I took a step forward.
Good, good. I don't care about the mistakes. Exactly. Good, good. And just like that, see, even though that ball went up here, it's still sunk down. Keep it going.
Me and Trey headed home for Thanksgiving, took advantage of the days off, and put some work in together in the morning. These were like the longest practice sessions we've ever been able to have together, like an hour and 30 minutes. Extremely beneficial. A whole month had passed, endless work had been put in. Had I done enough in just 2 short months? Could I push Trey to the limit, to the point where he crumbles and loses to me in such short time? It's time to see, but first, let's hear from our players before the match. Hi Trey, Gary from Winners Only Weekly here. Just wondering really quickly, it's been a little bit of an unconventional approach actually training with your competitor on the week leading up. Have you noticed anything to be scared of heading into this match?
Nothing to be scared of, Gary. Nothing to be scared of. Kyle, it's Gary here again from Winners Only Weekly. Can you give us a quick score prediction for today?
Against better opponents, he typically plays up to his competition. Now, I'm just saying that I may play better today, but the last time was 8-4. My prediction would be 8-3. My only play was one question. Just gonna show some highlights here, some of the best points. If you guys want to start seeing the full matches, I can start uploading them to Winners Only Deuce, but it's just not worth putting the whole thing at the end of this video. The positives for me this time around: no double faults. Not saying there was 0, but there was probably 3 to 4 from me, which is probably the best that I've ever done in any tennis match before. So that's great to see improvement there. Been working on my serve a little bit, especially just the toss and consistency on the toss, so that was good. My forehand was better. I'm not gonna say it was great. I still think that my swing just looks different in mid-match than it does whenever I'm, say, hitting on a ball machine or on some tosses from Trey or a soft. And I don't like that. I don't like to see me babying it. I need to just let myself be free. I'm not creating any advantage with my forehand. I'm more or less just getting it in. And I would like to see myself just playing more free. And I think my swing is really ugly whenever I let the ball get too close, and that happens way too often. But overall, positive growth. The negatives for me were, like I said, just babying it, not playing as free as I wanted to. But we'll take it. That's the aggression I like to see when I look back and look at the film. The better I get, the more I expect from myself come match time, which ends up meaning a little bit more nerves. I think that was the case today. I think I played well, not as good as I wanted to, but it's step by step, brick by brick. I believe in myself. I can feel the improvement. We've just got to keep going. Trey would take set number 3 between us, 8-3. My prediction would be 8-3. How do you expect to win when you're predicting yourself to lose?